It's December 22nd, and the strange side of history awaits. Today, we have a failed act of airborne terror, a creature thought to be extinct, and the violent collapse of a regime. Let's begin. On December 22nd, 2001, just 3 months after the world watched the skies with fear, American Airlines Flight 63 lifted off from Paris bound for Miami. The cabin was quiet, passengers settled in, unaware of the danger that was already seated among them. Hidden in plain sight, Reid, a man carrying explosives concealed in his shoes, somewhere over the Atlantic, he bent down and struck a match, trying again and again to ignite the fuse that refused to catch. A sharp chemical smell filled the air. Passengers noticed, confusion turned to terror. In a sudden burst of movement, travelers and crew rushed him, forcing him to the floor as he fought. At 35,000 feet, strangers had become survivors together. The plane made an emergency descent into Boston. No explosions, just silence and relief. Reid was arrested on the runway. The attack failed, but the impact lingered. From that day forward, millions would remove their shoes at the airport worldwide, in an everyday reminder of how close catastrophe came and how narrowly it was stopped. On December 22nd, 1938, in a small museum on South Africa's coast, history quietly came back to life. That morning, the museum curator was alerted to an unusual fish hauled up in a fisherman's net. At first glance, it looked wrong, too ancient, too unfamiliar. Its thick, lobed fins resembled primitive limbs. Its body seemed to be frozen from another age. Scientists had believed this creature, the Coelacanth, had gone extinct more than 65 million years ago, vanishing alongside the dinosaurs. Until that moment, it existed only in stone fossils. Yet here it was, alive, still swimming in the deep. The discovery stunned the scientific world. This living fossil offered a rare clue how life once crawled from the sea to land. Decades later, more were found near the Canarose Islands, confirming a hidden population had survived undetected for a millennia. The Coelacanth wasn't resurrected, it simply never left, silently surviving while the world assumed it was gone. If a creature lost for 65 million years can still breathe beneath the dark, what else might be waiting, undiscovered and watching beneath the surface? On December 22nd, 1989, the iron grip of the dictatorship finally began to crack. In Bucharest, Romania, thousands filled the streets as fear turned into defiance. For decades, Ceaușescu had ruled through surveillance and silence. But that morning, something changed. The army, once his greatest weapon, refused to fire. Soldiers lowered their guns and crowds roared. As chaos spread, he and his wife, Elaine, fled the capital by helicopter, lifting off from the roof of a party headquarters while the city below erupted. But they didn't get far. Captured, the couple faced a swift military trial behind closed doors. Accused of mass repression and abuse, the verdict was delivered almost immediately, and there would be no appeal. 3 days later, on Christmas Day, the execution was carried out. The footage was broadcast to the nation, a grim sign that the regime was over. After 24 years, Romania's reign of fear had ended not with a whisper, but with a sudden, irreversible collapse of control. The revolution didn't erase the scars, but it proved that even the most rigid regime can collapse in days. Another day, another strange bite from history. Like, comment, and subscribe. Your next eerie dose is just a day away.